From Studio 3C in Rockefeller Center, this is News 4 New York.
President Obama traveled to Atlanta today to make a public push for more federal funding to fight drug abuse. The president spoke at a drug abuse summit, a forum focusing on the rising number of deaths from heroin, codeine, morphine, and other opium-based drugs. He says there needs to be more focus on treating drug addicts and not criminalizing them.
The most important thing we can do is to reduce demand for drugs. And the only way that we reduce demand is if we're providing treatment and thinking about this as a public health problem.
Mr. Obama also said that more people are dying of opioid overdoses right now than from traffic accidents. And here to talk to us about this move to help those in the grip of prescription drug addiction is Harris Stratyner. He's a psychologist from the Caron Treatment Centers, who has a private practice with a great deal of experience dealing with this issue, and we thank him for joining us on the broadcast here. Your immediate takeaway from what the president said today was what?
I thought it was fantastic, and we were talking about it at Caron Treatment Center a bit in New York, and we thought it was very good. You just have to remember that addiction is a biopsychosocial disease. So there's the biological aspects, and certainly President Obama addressed that in terms of talking about things like Narcan to reverse the effects of an opiate. But there's also the psychological and social effects. So we have to remember some people go to AA, which is spirituality. Some people also have to deal with the feelings they're having, group therapy, individual therapy. It all has to come together.
And also, a key part of that is personal responsibility.
Absolutely.
And we also have to talk about the fact that doctors, many of them, have been overprescribing these medicines for a long time. There is abuse in the medical establishment.
Beyond all understanding. And now,
why has that happened?
I think that people come to them. They worry about pain. Originally, the intentions were good. People really were in pain. These drugs were developed to help people with pain, but unfortunately, they became quickly recreational. We started seeing kids who were stealing them from their parents' and grandparents' medicine cabinets. And before you know it, they found out that they were hard to get. And I hope that some of the work that we did at Caron made it hard to get by us talking about it on television. But unfortunately, the next thing you know, they go to heroin.
And because that is cheaper and more accessible?
Cheaper, more accessible, can now be used nasally. And again, coming back to President Obama, what he did today is a great start, really great start.
When someone comes to you for treatment, is there a way to tell whether it's going to be a success or not? Do they have to be of a certain mindset?
Yeah, I think that people who are ready, who, as they say in AA, and I don't represent AA, but sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Right.
However, also interventions work. We have a lot of interventionists that we work with at Caron Treatment Center. And you can really motivate somebody to go to rehab who wasn't even expecting to go.
Right. But how about the people who have gone to rehab several times? Why does rehab sometimes fails for a lot of people? Because
if you look at the chemistry of the brain, if you look at neurotransmitter chemicals and the way that drugs are taken up in the brain, there's a tremendous neuropsychological effect that draws you to it. It's like eating one potato chip, only 100 times stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
But in terms of the treatment, when does it usually take for someone like that? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Well, Gus, the problem is you never know. You could have somebody who gets sober the first time. I've had patients who got sober the first time and have been sober for 40 years.
Right.
Other patients I've had who have gone to rehab 10 times.
Right.
And you never know. I've had other patients on my units, not a personal patient, who've died. You know, addiction is primary, progressive, chronic, and oftentimes, if not treated, fatal.
Dr. Stratyner, thank you for coming in today. Appreciate your time.